Welcome, middle of Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, dear Forest Grove teachers. So this weekend I wanted to give you some helps with setting up notifications and going into your settings in Canvas. And the reason for doing that is I have a feeling that maybe several of you are actually not receiving notifications on your phone or on your computer and your email that a new lesson is posted, because since last weekend, my last posting, only three of the teachers, two seminary teachers and the institute teacher, actually have looked at Canvas. And if you had seen the announcement, actually notification for the announcement, you would know that that was about the Book of Mormon and resources for that. And I have a feeling that you would all want to be looking at that and getting access to those. I know previously you've received an email with resources, but these are updated. There's some more things, including the things you need for those lessons that are highlighted in yellow on the pacing guide. And so I want to take you into the settings in Canvas. So here's last week's announcement. If you had gotten notification for that and opened that announcement up, you would then see that I said, hey, I figured out how to put all those Book of Mormon resources into the Canvas lesson. I inserted them as links. These were new resources. And so also, well, the fact that if you were being notified, I think you'd be going there. So let's go into the settings. You do that by clicking on account, where you have your picture or a shadow. I don't know if you've set it up so that your picture's in there. We go to notifications, and here we check on what you have set. If you have a check mark, it says notify me right away. That's what you would want on announcements and on discussions, because that's what I do with our lessons. I always put them in a discussion format. If you do the others, you're not getting an immediate response. And if you have an X there, it means you're not being sent anything. So here you'd want to check off for immediate notification the announcement that lets you know what's coming, and go across the board with that, so that any devices that you have in Canvas for notifications will then get that announcement, and you'll see it right away. You'll see it on your phone. Maybe you're in the doctor's office or whatever, and you have a chance to just kind of browse through that. And then down here in discussions, go ahead and click those as well, so that you get notified right away. Those are the, I would say, vitally important things to have checked off in your settings. So I want to also just mention a few things. Back up on screen here. As you teach that first lesson, which in the pacing guide is supposed to be about, it's the introduction to the Book of Mormon and the doctrinal lesson on the restoration. Really encouraging that first lesson, let it be one where you convey the power of the Book of Mormon and the way that you feel it in your life. There's some things, I'll just share a couple of things that I'm going to do with that. I'm going to, for instance, talk about the power of the Book of Mormon to bring conversion. In 2018, there were 234,332 convert baptisms. That's 642 per day. So every 24 hours, there are enough people joining the church to form 2 wards. And now, our building program, we used to be building a meeting house every 24 hours. We would still be doing that if that was under the same policy. The church has modified things to route funds into temple building and other important budget items, and being a little bit more creative in how the building program works with meeting houses. But at this point, you see that 2 wards a day in numbers are being brought into God's kingdom. You could take a picture, this is something I'm contemplating, of a Book of Mormon in the middle of a football field, far enough where they can't really tell what it is, or they almost can't even see it there, and take another picture that is closer and another that is closer until they can see that it's a Book of Mormon. And the bleachers in the back, maybe they hold 200, 300 people, I don't know. You could calculate that, and maybe you already know, and you could say, this little speck in the middle of that field has the converting power to bring Heavenly Father's children in numbers that would equal those that would sit in those bleachers, and on at a 24-hour basis or a 12-hour basis if it's 300 people. Or there's a great story that President Faust shared from F. Burton Howard in General Conference back in the late 90s about Celia Cruz Ayala, who was mugged and had stolen from her a Book of Mormon, and later receives a letter from her mugger asking her forgiveness and indicating that he had joined the church because he read that Book of Mormon. That's a true story, and one that's in there. You know many others too. Help them feel the power of conversion that the Book of Mormon contains. Remember, it's the keystone of a religion. That arch will fall if that keystone is taken out of the arch. You can have them write their personal belief statement about the Book of Mormon at the beginning of the year and put it in a sealed envelope and give it to you. And then maybe at the end of either the school year or the end of the first semester of the following school year, when the Book of Mormon will end, have them write again their personal belief statement about the Book of Mormon, and then give them their old one. Let them open it up and see if there hasn't been greater conversion that's occurred in their life in comparison to when they began the Book of Mormon year. So those are just some ideas. I just want to let you know how grateful I am for all that you do. You are wonderful, and thank you for your commitment, your devotion to building God's kingdom, and to helping to do all you can to bring these students to Christ. And now we get to study the Book of Mormon, this great converter. And I hope that the resources that you have received will assist you in getting a vision and kind of laying out for this coming semester what you want to do, and helping them feel the power of the Book of Mormon. I testify that I know that it is true, and I know that you will have a great impact on your students as a servant of the Lord, being an instrument in God's hands and bringing them to Him. And so thank you so much, and have a wonderful evening and day.